Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the Furion Vision S wireless camera system here on a 2021 Grand Design Transcend Xplor. So the Furion backup camera system is going to be an awesome addition here to your trailer because it's going to allow you to remain safe when you're driving out on the road or backing up. So this camera system here is actually powered by the running light circuit, meaning it's going to have power and you're going to get a picture in the vehicle whenever we have our running lights on. So when we're traveling down the highway, whether we want to see behind us, maybe we need to get over in a lane, or we just want to see what's going on at the back of our trailer, this is going to be an excellent option for this. It does a lot more than just serve to help us back up. It's going to be an observation camera. So this kit comes in a couple different configurations. For starters, you can get this same camera paired with 3 different size monitors. You can either go with the 4.3-inch monitor, the 5-inch monitor, or the 7-inch monitor. And additionally, for the 5-inch monitor and 7-inch monitor versions, you can also add side cameras, which replace some of the side marker lights on your trailer, and they do a little bit better job of helping you see that oncoming traffic in the lanes beside you. So our camera actually has a nice wide viewing angle so we can really see everything behind our trailer. It also has some built-in LED lights around the lens so you can use it at night as well. Something else you guys are really going to love, there's actually a built-in microphone in the camera there so you can hear sounds in the cab of your vehicle through the monitor. So something else that's great, this kit is widely compatible. We can actually adjust the camera angle there, so if you want to be able to see a little bit further out, or maybe you have a cargo carrier here that you want to see the top of that, you can easily adjust that camera angle to get the perfect view for your particular situation. So most of these trailers here are going to have what's known as the factory backup camera prep package, and if that's what you have, the installation of this product is going to be a breeze. The holes are already drilled for you and there's no splicing involved whatsoever. We have four screws we need to remove, 2 connectors that we plug in together, and then you just simply re-secure the camera with the mounting bracket and you're done. That's it. It is that easy. So taking a closer look at the monitor in the vehicle here, as we said, again, there's 3 size options, 4.3-inch, 5-inch, and 7-inch. I kind of honestly like the 4.3-inch, even though it's a little bit smaller, but for one camera, that's really all you need. And you don't want a bulky monitor mounted on your windshield here, obstructing your visibility and just taking up space. However, it is very easy to take on and off. It just got a suction cup mount. I'm sure you guys have seen those before. They're pretty standard. We can actually adjust the angle here to our proper viewing here from the driver's seat. Now, a couple more features of the monitor. On the side here, we have some buttons. That first one down here turns on the grid lines. And then the middle one there, we have our menu. We can pair the camera if it ever loses, or we get another camera. We can go through the setup. You can adjust the picture. Sometimes that allows you to flop the orientation of the camera. You guys probably aren't going to be doing too much with that, but the options are there for you. And as we said, there's actually a speaker in here so we can transmit audio or whatever we hear back behind the trailer. If we have someone yelling at us, you're able to easily hear that and adjust the volume from inside the cab of the vehicle. So this system is wireless here. There's an antenna on the camera and the monitor. Therefore, you don't have to worry about running any wires between the monitor and the camera itself. It is going to get power there through the 7-way, so you really don't have to worry about any wiring whatsoever here with this system. So just a little note for you guys here. Your kit here is going to come with everything you need to get set up and running. As long as you have a fully functioning 7-way on your vehicle, you're not going to have any issues. However, there are a couple problems out there with the newer GM trucks. So if you have a Silverado or a Sierra from 2019 up, you're going to need an adapter depending on what your exact year is. So make sure you check with us beforehand before you purchase the camera. That way you can make sure you do get the correct adapter, such as this one here. So to start our installation today, we're going to come to the rear of our trailer at the top. Now, most of these trailers come with the factory prep package there, so it's going to make installation much easier. But if you don't have the factory prep package, you can still get this installed with everything included with the kit. Your install will just be slightly different than ours. But here is the actual factory cover plate here. So we need to go ahead and remove this because our new one will actually replace it. Now, the first step to doing that is we need to break the seal around the gasket to the trailer. There's actually some silicone there around the outside. So we're just going to take a razor knife here, anything you have really, and just pierce that gasket there, working your way along the outside. Now once we have all that gasket material removed, we're going to go ahead and take a screwdriver here, and there's going to be 4 Phillips head screws, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Remove those. Now you want to save these screws because we'll be using these to reinstall our camera. And now we should be able to peel off our camera. So here's the gasket there behind the housing. And then there is our plug. Go ahead and pull that through the gasket. So we actually have a new gasket in your kit, so it doesn't matter if we damage this one. There we go. So here is our new camera assembly with a new mounting bracket. I actually have a new one here, and there's a gasket on the back of that, as we said as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our antenna here, and you're just going to screw that on to the camera there. Just like so. Go ahead and tighten that down by hand as best you can. And then we're going to be removing the gasket from the back of the camera. So now, once we have our antenna on, we're going to take our camera and mounting bracket, and on the back there should be a little power cord. We're just going to place that through the gasket. Just like so. And then you're going to reseat the gasket on the back of the camera. And now, I'm sure you probably guessed what we're going to do next. We're going to plug in this port here to the female end coming from the trailer. And then I'm just going to tuck back that wire. It is kind of hard to get everything shoved back in there so it sits nice and flush. But we're just going to do that. And then we're going to take our screws here and we're going to re-secure them. Make sure it's nice and tight, and there we go. Now I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and place a thin layer of silicone around the outside, just as they did from the factory, just to seal it out a little bit better. But before I do that, I do want to test the camera to make sure it's working correctly, because I did these quite a few times, and a lot of times the manufacturer will switch the power and ground wire at the factory plug there. Therefore your camera don't work. So before I seal all this up, I want to make sure it's wired correctly. So all we did to check for power is I just went ahead and hooked up to our tow vehicle there and turned on the running light circuit. And you can see the little blue light in the bottom left-hand corner of the camera. As long as you have this, you're good to go. If you don't, I would probably switch those 2 wires around at the connection. It's very common for the manufacturers to switch those. So just a heads up there in case you guys run into any issues. But now, as we said, once I verify it has power, I'm going to go ahead and seal up the outside of this gasket. Now, quick note here. Just make sure your antenna is pointed up towards the sky there. So now that we've got our camera all installed here, we're going to jump in our vehicle. We're going to install the monitor. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our monitor, and we're going to grab the swivel mounting bracket. We're going to be using the windshield mounting bracket. There's a ball and socket joint. You're just going to pop that ball into the socket on the back of our monitor. And then we're going to take our power cable here, and we're going to plug it into the monitor. Now we're going to find a place to mount this. So 2 of the most common places to mount your monitor are right here in the center of the windshield, or some people like to mount them down in the corner over here. It's totally up to you guys. Our 12-volt outlets are located here in the center, so it's probably going to be more ideal for us to position it here in the center. So you're just going to press it to stick it, and then there's a little locking button here you're going to press, and that's going to hold it there a little bit tighter, engage that suction cup. Then you're just going to rotate your antenna up. You may need to play with this a little bit, but basically we just want it to point up as best as possible. You can swivel it like you see here. That should be good. Now we're going to take our outlet here. We're going to locate the 12-volt outlet port on your vehicle, and you're just going to simply plug it in. So here's our monitor, and this is the screen you should see once you have power to it. You can see we do have power, but there is no signal. That's because we still need to pair our camera. So in order to pair our camera, we're going to go ahead and turn our tow vehicle on, and we're going to activate the running lights, which is going to send power to the camera. So there we go. Now we can see we have a picture on our monitor. So if you purchase the camera and the monitor together, meaning they come in the same box, they're already going to be paired to one another. Therefore, you're going to have the picture on the monitor as soon as you plug in the trailer there and you power the running light circuit. Now, if you don't get a picture on your monitor, you'll have to go through the manual pairing procedure, which is pretty easy. There's a button you press on the monitor, then you'll jump out, run to the back of the camera, press the button on there as well, and then the two should pair. But more than likely, yours is going to come paired, so just plug and play. So now that we have everything synced up, that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the Furion Vision S camera system here on our 2021 Grand Design Transcend Xplor.